So this question has got the word expanding with a bracket involved, so it's asking you to multiply the outside part by the inside terms. So it's asking you to do 2m times m and 2m times positive 3. So 2m times m, well m times m is multiplying the same thing by itself, so that becomes a square, so it becomes 2m squared, and 2m times positive 3 becomes positive 6m's. 2 times 3 is 6, and we've got a plus. So combine those two together, then we get the final answer of 2m squared plus 6m. Got to be careful not to lose the m there. We must have 6m there because we're doing 3 lots of 2m's. Factorise is always about putting expressions back into brackets, and we always ask ourselves the question, is there a common factor to all terms? If there is, then it's a single bracket factorisation. If there isn't a common factor to all terms, then it'll be a double bracket factorisation at GCSE level. So we have a look, and we can see here that there's an x and an x, so it's certainly going to be a single bracket, but then we always ask ourselves then, if it's a single bracket factorisation, we need the highest common factor bracket. So we need to find the highest common factor outside the bracket. So we look here, 3 and 6, well 3 is certainly a factor of both of those. X and x, well x will certainly go into both of those, and y squared and y will certainly go into those. So 3xy is the highest common factor. We then divide through each of the original terms by the highest common factor, and that will then tell us what goes left into the bracket, or what's left to go into the bracket. So 3 divided by 3 is cancelled to 1, x divided by x is cancelled to 1, and y squared divided by y leaves us with a single y. So from that we're left with a single y, and then we've got 6xy divided by 3xy. So we've got 6 divided by 3, which is 2. We've got x divided by x, which is 1, so that's gone to 1. And y divided by y is also 1, so we're left with 2 here. So it's going to be, whoops, not that, because there's a takeaway, got to be careful. So it's y take away 2. And of course we should then check that that's worked, and the check is the opposite of factorising, which is expanding. So we've got 3xy times y, and we've got 3xy times negative 2. So 3xy, well we've got a y times y, which is y squared. We've still got the 3x, so 3x y squared. Yep, that's what we had originally. And then we've got 3xy times negative 2. Well, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and we've got an xy involved, so take away 6xy. So take away 6xy. So our check's worked. So our final answer then will be 3xy bracket y take away 2. Again, it's important to recognise common factors, single bracket, so therefore outside this bracket must be the highest common factor, the highest thing that'll go into both the terms, and then you divide through each of the terms by that highest common factor, and what's left goes inside the bracket. The other way of thinking about these, of course, is once you found the highest common factor, you could just ask yourself, what would I multiply this by to give me each of these terms? And then that goes in the bracket, inside the bracket. So that's another way of thinking about that kind of question. So that's expanding and factorising.